If you see just the start-stop warning or light in the Nissan Qashqai, it means that most likely the problem is with a 12-volt battery because it lost its charge, it lost its voltage, and now the system it has special sensors, it has special control modules for controlling the battery, and it sees that the voltage is low and it will not use the start-stop because at a certain moment your car may just stall and not start at the intersection. This will cause safety concerns, of course, and that's why the system deactivates the start-stop mode. So what you need to do, you need to check the battery. If the battery is healthy, you may do it with a multimeter, but the best way is to use a load tester. There is a special battery tester. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You can even buy it or you can borrow it from any big parts store and just check the battery. So why the battery may be bad? Because it's old, for example, like 4 years for a modern car with a start-stop system. It's already an old battery. It may be because of the car has been sitting for a long time and the battery hasn't been charging for all this time, and then you start the car, you start driving, and you expect your start-stop to work properly. This is not gonna happen. Your Qashqai will throw this start-stop warning and will not use start-stop until it's sure the battery is okay, the battery holds the voltage properly. Or it may be because of the short driving cycles. If you mainly drive in the city, you never drive long distance, your battery may be dead because of that in 2 years, 3 years, and you will need to replace it. Actually, you may also charge this battery every half a year in this short driving cycles, and the battery will live much longer. Also, one more thing to check before you do any repairs or go to a garage for inspection is to check the battery connections and the ground connection, because these connections affect the voltage in your vehicle. So if the battery connections are loose, they have really big resistance, and this drops the voltage in the system. Or if the ground connection is corroded, this also creates low voltage problems. The ground strap, the ground cable, is the one that is connected with the negative terminal in your battery, and the other side of that cable is connected with the metal body part of your car. So check if these connections are not corroded, not loose, so they look okay and feel okay. Also, one more situation when you can see this start-stop warning is when the car is not ready to use start-stop, because, for example, you turned on the AC on max and you expect your car to be cooled because it's hot outside, you want your car to be cool inside, and so you turned your climate control on a very low temperature. In this case, your car will need the AC compressor to be working at all times, even when you're standing at the intersection, and in this case, the car will not apply start-stop until it reaches the temperature that you want. The same thing works with heating in winter, for example, because the car needs power to heat the interior of your vehicle. Usually in this situation you will not see any warnings, it's just that your start-stop is not working. And then there are a lot of scenarios in the Nissan Qashqai that may cause the start-stop not working, start-stop throwing messages and warnings on the dash. And you will see other warnings like check engine light. If you see the check engine light, in most cases the start-stop will stop working and you will see the message, the warning, just because something is wrong with the engine, and because of this your car doesn't want to stop it at every intersection. So it would be just wild guessing if I started guessing what's wrong with the car. In this case, you need to understand what kinds of codes are sitting behind those warning lights, check engine lights, and what those codes are telling you. So good inspection would be needed. In this case, with the help of proper Nissan-compatible scanner, you will get the codes, you will investigate those codes and understand what's turning off the start-stop system in your car. Just some examples, what can affect the start-stop system is the battery control module issues. There is a battery control module in your car, and if it glitches, stops working, there is a short or something, it will not understand what's happening with the battery right now, and the car will not use the start-stop at the intersections. Also, there may be throttle position sensor problems. If the car doesn't know the current position of the throttle flap, it will not apply any start-stop. It will probably be in the limp mode until you correct that. But it's easy to check because the check engine light will be on the dash and you will have certain codes that are responsible for the throttle. Or in modern hybrid Qashqais, this may be because of the hybrid system problems. Something is wrong with the battery, with the cables, with the connections. and this will cause the start-stop to not work properly. Also, engine overheating, cold temperatures of the engine, this all will cause start-stop to not work, and you may or may not see the warnings, but the start-stop will not be working. If these situations trigger the start-stop problem in your Nissan Qashqai, you will of course need to pay attention to those problems first, and the start-stop will just be repaired automatically when you find and solve the problem.